In less than 10 minutes, I'm going to show you how you can access wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, Netflix, YouTube, and any other app that you like onto your GLC or C-Class.
Alright, now the first part of the process, I have emptied everything from the glove box. Once you open it, you'll see this trim around here. You can kind of pry it out on either side, and then you have to press against these two, and then you can pry more from the front. It's harder to do with the camera on one hand, so what I can do is just get it out and then show you what I did. So all that I've done here is pry out on this trim from either side, and then once it was lifted up, you can press against these two holding mechanism, and then this whole trim will pop out, revealing two Torx 20 that you need to remove here, and these are the only bolts holding this whole big panel in. Once you've undone these two Torx 20, you can pry out on the panel from both sides at the same time. This panel will lift up, and then I'll show you what clips we need to undo. If you have never taken this panel out before, it might be quite hard to get this panel out for the first time. Once you have that out, you'll see there's 3 clips you need to get out. There's one white plug there, one in the center, and a black plug just underneath. So once you have undone those 3 clips, this panel will come out, not all the way yet. There's going to be a connection behind here for your 12-volt socket. There's going to be connections here for this and this trim. So you have to undo all of that, and only then this panel can sit on the side. There are these 2 plugs that you need to get out, and behind the trim would be these 2 another connections. That's controlling your buttons on the big panel itself. There's one more connection here which is for your 12-volt socket. This one is not a clip tab, so once you get your hand behind, you have to just pop it up. It's an L shape, you have to get it out like that. It's quite a hard pin, but you can get it out. That's all out. This panel has been removed now. Now for the next part, there's these 2 Torx 20 that we have to undo. They don't come out of the socket. After that, the whole radio will come out, and then we can start undoing all the clips behind and keep the radio on the side. I have already undone all the clips at the back, but I'll show you just for demonstration how this whole thing will come out. Once you have untightened those 2 Torx 20, this radio will slide out, and behind here you'll see a lot of the connections. You have to undo all of the connections, and then you can put your radio on the side. The next part of the installation is removing the A-pillar. You just have to pry this airbag cover out. Once that cover is out, there's no screws behind here, it's only the pull tabs. This whole A-pillar will pry out, and then you can kind of slide it out of the way. I've also gone ahead and removed this trim from here, as it's blocking the A-pillar bottom part from coming out. To remove this trim, all you have to do is pry it out from here, and then there's only one guarding tab at the top and the bottom guarding feed that slides in. So you can pry it out, pull it towards you, and pull it up, and this trim will come out. That will make it easier for you to remove your A-pillar trim. Alright, now for the next part of the install, we have to remove the glove box. Now to remove the glove box, there's a plastic shroud cover that's hiding the screws that we need to remove the glove box. And there's a plastic trim here underneath the glove box that needs to be removed in order for us to get access to the screws, which we need to remove in order to get the glove box out of the way. So there's a Torx 20 here, they're all Torx 20. Now once you remove that bottom cover there, there's going to be one clip here that's connected to your light, and the other one is your cabin temperature sensor. You have to get them out. That panel will sit on the side, and then there's going to be 2 more Torx 20 underneath, 1 on the side and 3 up top. Just undo them, and then this will just come straight out. Alright, the glove box has been taken out. Now it's time for the last part of the disassembly, which is removing this AC cover here on top, and then undoing 2 Torx 20 underneath. That will allow for the screen to slide out. There's 2 more connections behind the screen. That's gonna get removed. That's where we're gonna mount a new mounting hardware for the new screen. Also, on a side note, be very careful when you're removing this. These can get brittle so quick, and you're gonna have like a big massive tear running through it. So always pry like 1 clip at a time, go very slow, do not apply a lot of pressure or force on here. Once that panel has been removed, there's 2 Torx 20, one here, one here. Undo them most of the way, and those screws are not gonna get out from there. It's gonna slide out with the screen here. Once you have undone the screws, you can see there's 2 clips behind it. One is your power, the other one is the LVDS. Undo them, and then this whole screen will sit on the side. The screen has come out. Let's do a quick recap of how the whole thing went. First part of the disassembly was removing this clip trim over here. Once that is undone, undo your screws, remove the big panel out, undo these 2 white plugs here, pull the trim out a little bit, remove these 2 trim plugs again, and remove the 12-volt socket plug. Once that is out, that panel is going to sit on the side. Undo the 2 Torx 20 to loosen your radio, remove all the clips from the back, put the radio on the side, take the airbag cover out, get your A-pillar out, the side trim comes out, undo all the screws required to do the bottom panel out, unplug the plugs, undo your glove box. Once all of that is done, all of your disassembly is finished. Now it's time for the installation. Let's see what you get in the box when you buy the kit from us. very first thing you get, the 10.25-inch screen itself. The new bracket which allows for you to mount the screen to your car. Your cord lock interception wiring, your USB wiring, GPS module, the Wi-Fi module, a USB to AUX adapter, AUX cable, and the microphone module. Now for the first part of the installation, you have to make sure you remove the fiber optics from the original cord lock and transplant it into the same position in our cord lock interception. So if you see from up top, you'll see it's on position number 1 from the left. So what I'm gonna do is remove that from here using a pick. It's a pull up tab, it's not a push down tab. You just pull it up, the fiber optics will slide out into the new one that connects to your radio. The male side of the interception harness will go onto your factory female side of the cord lock interception. Now what I've done here is taped up my AUX cable with the AUX to USB adapter. Then the next step what I'm going to do here is undo these two Torx 20 here and here. Get this panel out. There's a small little gap on this side. You can push your USB cable through here, which you can plug into that USB port there. That's how your audio is going to run through media interface on the car side and AUX out on the screen side. That's how the audio is coming all through here. And that USB to AUX is going to go behind, all underneath the panels, up into your screen for your audio out. The other thing that I've done is mounted my mic up there, running it down through into the A-pillar next to my GPS antenna. Tape the wiring together, and now that's going to run at the back of my new screen. I also have to mount my Wi-Fi antenna, which I'm going to mount in a flat plastic surface just behind here. That's also going to run to a screen. And once all of that has been run, we can start putting in the new plastic bracket to mount the screen, route the wires as we need to, and then plug in the screen. That's the USB fly lead coming out into the screen. One part of it is connected to your microphone. The other one here is going to be connected to this blue plug, which is your display signal. That will allow for your new screen to have the display from original radio, and that will also allow for you to access your original Mercedes Bluetooth system. Once you have mounted your new mounting bracket, this is how the whole system should look like. Your big power cable and your Wi-Fi antenna on one side of the screen, and the other GPS module and your USB run through on the other side of the screen. Keep it this way. You can go ahead and put the top panel back on. And also because we've also mounted all of our antennas already, that was the whole reason why we needed to take the A-pillar out. That's the GPS mounted there. We don't need to keep it out anymore. I can go ahead and put the A-pillar back on and then start moving on to mounting the screen. NVR into the screen is working the way it should. Now I have to try to change my audio source into media interface. All done. Now I'm gonna go into my CarPlay side. Nice. Now just testing for the sound. The sound's working fine. Turn the volume down. CarPlay is connected. The calls I've tested, the calls are working fine. So what I'm going to start doing now is start putting everything all back together and then show you guys how the whole system looks and works. Now for my USBs, I have to put them in the glove box. Right behind the glove box, you'll see this entry point with the pre-cut holes and just some tabs. So as soon as you push it in, that gives you a cavity and opening to go inside the glove box. And now I can feed my USB through here. They're gonna sit nice inside the glove box. And because all of my USB has been taped up, there's gonna be no sounds or rattling. That cavity opening has come here inside the glove box. This is just gonna chill here. I can go ahead and put the side panel back on and the bottom one. That part is all done. Then it's only to reassemble the center console. I'll show you what settings you guys need to do, and once all of that is done, this car is good to go. All right, so the only setting you guys would have to do is go into settings in here through your system, and then in here in your reversing setting, even if you have the 360 camera, you have to pick in the original camera. That's the option you have to tick. Once that is all done, go down into factory, click 1314. That's gonna put you into the factory settings. Go ahead with each one of these settings. So for example, I have set it up already. Number of doors, what side is the driver, and then you can go ahead into your vehicle display. This is how your original side is gonna look. I've had it to half screen still. So let's say if I switch it to full screen, and then now if I go back into my media, now it's scaled to fit in the screen. If I go into reverse, you can see the reverse camera is working. Factory 360 still active and working just the way it should. Back into park, out of there, touch the screen. That's gonna take me back into Android side. Back into setting, factory 1314. If you're having any problems with the sound, video, or your original system side, go in here, make sure you go through different CAN protocols. One of them is gonna be exactly the one for your car. We've already set up the boot logo on this one to be the Mercedes. That is all done and sorted. Have a look at that system, guys. Full wireless compatibility. You also get this special feature why everyone gets this car is the access to App Store, your Play Store. You can download apps like Netflix, YouTube, all of that. Amazing. Now it's time to put the center console back together. The best way I think to do it is to plug in your 12-volt accessory plug first. That's the hardest one to get in. All the other ones, you know where they go. It's very easy to plug them back in. It's only this one that causes problem, at least for me. Just plug it in first and then guide the other ones as needed. And then the whole center console is going to be back together. We just set up the screen and this installation is done. All right, so all of that has been put back together. All the connections behind here, one for that, one for that. There's the 12-volt socket plug. After that, there's 2 more white plugs that we undid at the beginning. All of that has been put back together. The whole car is back into pieces. The only thing left to do is to mount these 2 screws behind the screen, and this install is complete. All right, guys, everything has been put back together. You can see here my sound's connected, CarPlay is connected. That looks beautiful on this car. That's the perfect size. You can also get this screen. This is a 10.25 inch screen. You can also get this screen in a 12.3 inch configuration, but I reckon the 10.25 looks the best on this car or any other C-Class series. Guys, if you want a system like this in your car, reach out to me via the contact form on www.westernautocustoms.com.au or send me an email on info@westernautocustoms.com.au. I'm gonna put a link to this exact same kit into the description. If you wanna do a DIY, very easy to do, go ahead and click that link, get your kit, and if you have any questions, send me an email to see how I can help you. Peace.